Today on Living by Design, host Kathy Holloway Hill will style up with Alpha.
And elevate who you are with your design.
This is a simple silk scarf. I think that looks smart. It looks different.
Do you
It
really?
elevates it a bit.
Tony Lamont presents Living by Design with host Kathy Holloway Hill. Kathy is a strong, powerful voice. She entertains, informs, and inspires her audiences everywhere she goes.
Hi, and welcome to Living by Design. I am Kathy Holloway Hill, and I have the pleasure of being here today with the design diva herself, Miss Alpha Blackburn. Hello, Alpha.
Hi.
I'm so glad you're here.
You make me chuckle.
Aw. Well, now, as our viewers remember, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about a magnificent new project that we're going to be working on called Style Up with Alpha.
Yes.
And I am very excited about it. I know you're very excited about it. So today we're going to really dig a little deeper into that and allow you guys to know what you're in for. You were the fashion editor for Indianapolis Monthly Magazine for a decade.
Yes.
That is a magnificent accomplishment. And you were also on the cover of Indianapolis Monthly Magazine and Indianapolis Woman.
Yes. At different times.
Let's talk a little bit about Style Up with Alpha, because we gave a little sneak preview a couple of weeks ago, but for those who didn't get to see that, if you didn't get to see that, you need to go back and check it out. But for those who didn't get to see that, just talk a little bit about what is Style Up with Alpha.
Thank you. I welcome the opportunity to
Yeah.
explain it because people have heard of dressing up.
Yes.
People have heard of fluffing up, dressing down. But style up means that we define, then refine, and then elevate your personal style. And by that, I am indicating that I think everyone has an innate style. It may not be one that they're proud of necessarily, and that they think it needs to be adjusted, or it may be one that is an inaccurate representation of who they truly are and what they really do, in which case it'll seem a little off. But for the most part, people have a certain proclivity. They have a way of presenting themselves. I would compare it to one's speech. It's as much an important statement to the world as what you say verbally. So if you think of it in that way, maybe that'll help you to understand that some people, I had a sister who was very formal in the way she spoke. She was a school teacher. She over-enunciated. She had a certain air that made her feel formal and also, to a certain extent, unapproachable.
Oh.
And there are certain people whose language tends to be lax and very relaxed. And while you may question that they are casual in the way they express themselves, it is probably true to who they are, or in some cases, the people whom they want to relate to. So dressing is the same way. Did you understand all of that stuff?
Oh
I know
my
you did.
God.
I know you did.
I loved it because you started out with I loved how you said to define and refine and elevate who you are with your design and how you dress and how you appear and your appearance and your accessories. And I love that, the image piece of it's kind of like whoever you are on the inside, it's going to reflect, talking about Style Up with Alpha.
Oh, sure.
We're doing Style Up with Alpha, so we're talking about fashion. But whoever you are on the inside, it's going to reflect in how your fashion makes a statement on the outside.
Absolutely.
I love
It
that.
does so really quite without thought, to a certain extent.
That's true.
So if you are dressing in a totally unconscious way, it's probably the most accurate expression of who you really are, until you think, maybe I'm giving off the wrong message.
And you know what, Alpha? I am going to stop you right there, because that is the entire reason why we are doing this segment. We want you, our viewers, to know who you are. That's the first thing. And then to demonstrate who you are through your image. And that's how Style Up with Alpha is going to help you display your brand better. Your brand is who you are. And your confidence level better. And it's also going to help you to dress appropriately for the occasion. Because I just have to say, if you're going to an interview, please don't wear blue jeans. Okay? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that's what Style Up with Alpha is going to do for our viewers. And I'm so excited.
Indeed.
We really do need it, because, okay, I'm going to use myself for an example. I'm going to just go ahead and share my secret, even though it's not that good of a secret. But I can be going to Kroger. It doesn't matter. And I am a jewelry fanatic. Now, that doesn't take all of that to go to Kroger to put on all of this jewelry and all, but that's just what I do, because it's kind of part of who I am. And that's why I love that we're going to be doing this segment, and we're going to have you coming on sharing tips and helping people with their image, with their wardrobe, with their accessories and the different pieces and how they fit together, and when it's appropriate to have them and when it's not.
Yes.
Because I don't need to be wearing a lot of jewelry to go to Kroger.
Maybe not so much, but you can temper it a little bit, perhaps on some occasions, but you're aware of that, or you wouldn't have said so.
Exactly. But I also want to, as you stated, I want to define and refine and even elevate myself up to demonstrate my brand. Now let me ask you this, because there are so many aspiring designers out there who just, they look up to you and they just think you are magnificent, because you are. What advice would you give those aspiring designers who just really are anxious to start their career, but they're kind of uncertain in a few things, and what advice would you give them, and what attributes do they need?
Well, thank you for the compliment, but let me begin by saying that everybody starts out not knowing a lot more than they know. Over the years, it's your expectation that you will gain knowledge as you progress through life.
Yes.
In your career, it's no different. And while you may think that a few years of education beyond high school may prepare you for a lifetime in your career, unless you take the time to actually continue to learn, you won't get to where you think you aspire to. So let me put it another way too. I think that, to just put it briefly, it's important to learn your craft. I have met young women and men who aspire to be and proclaim to be fashion designers far ahead of their having learned some of the fundamental things about dressing.
Oh.
And if they don't understand apparel, if they don't understand certain things like balance and proportion, if they haven't learned the names of fabrics and how those fabrics behave, if they've not learned certain techniques, if they don't even know the names of apparel, certain pieces of apparel, these things are basic.
Or like couture.
It's like the vocabulary
Yeah.
that allows you to speak.
Exactly.
And so if you haven't learned that, it will truncate your career until you do learn, because those things become evident in your work. So I would say learn your craft and continue to learn your craft. One of the things that can help is to examine things that are well done. You will be able to see the difference between the workmanship that you apply and the workmanship in fine garments. And if you would study old fashion of more than this era, you can begin to learn certain things that if you were a painter, from studying art history, you would learn about color and combination and balance within a canvas. And you would learn also about fashion, what things have preceded today's view of fashion. And you will learn things that you don't necessarily want to replicate, but you will learn how proportion works and
great.
what looks good and what doesn't look good.
That's
to
good.
a trained eye,
Yeah.
and not to someone who's trying to walk blindly into a career from a notion that's in their heads.
That's great advice, Alpha. I think I couldn't have asked for a better answer. I mean, you really articulated that very well. You went into detail. You gave them specifics on how to do it, what to do, what not to do. Thank you so much for that. And we are going to just take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have some real fun, because we're actually going to style up with Alpha. Don't go anywhere. Hi, welcome back. I am so excited now because we are actually getting ready to do a demonstration where we are going to see Miss Alpha Blackburn do some of her magic, where she is going to actually, remember we talked about what style up with Alpha means. It's to define and refine and elevate your own personal style. And that's what we're getting ready to see Alpha do. Now, Alpha, how is this going to work?
Well, we're going to try to start with something very simple.
Okay.
I have taught one of my friends to be a model for the moment.
Okay. And who is that?
And Dr. Karen Rodman will model for us for the moment.
Love it.
And I want you to be a model for the moment. And we're going to simply with scarves transform your look.
Ooh.
So that, first of all, Karen wants to learn how to wear scarves.
Okay.
It sounds simple, but for many people it's challenging.
Yes.
And this way we can show how you can travel light. One of the things that a scarf can do is to transform you from the neck or the head down to where you would meet a dinner table.
Okay.
Or a meeting table. So that you don't have to take extra jackets with you when you travel, and so that you don't have to take a heavy wrap to eat in a restaurant if it's summer and the air conditioning is pumping.
Excellent.
Or if it's a formal or near formal event and you want to sparkle a little without going to great means of changing your clothes. So we have Karen in black.
Okay.
And you are predominantly in black. We're going to show how, with just a basic, understated, simple look, we can add a scarf to add interest and bring focus to your face and change your look. Karen, in one small aspect of styling up, you can learn how to use scarves I know your mom left you some beautiful scarves.
Yes, she did.
You've got all this hair and all of this strong look that you think you can't wear scarves. So, let's start with the one you're now wearing.
It is gorgeous.
What you are wearing, which passes now as a garment,
Yes.
a way of changing a look from day to evening because of the lurex threads that sparkle and the
Okay.
soft silk chiffon. You can change a daytime look to one that looks swell for dinner at the roof, let's say, for a meeting after work.
That would be
Now,
wonderful.
if you would just turn around,
Absolutely.
you will see that this is a simple silk scarf, a square, that can also be shown in a couple of other ways and be worn for a beach cover-up as much as for an evening cover-up. And it is basically one large square with all four corners caught. Okay, Karen?
That is exquisite.
So as long as we have an absolute square,
Okay.
we can do that simple trick. This also can be used, of course, in the traditional ways of tying a scarf on. Can be worn as a pareo with your bathing suit or around your neck in a traditional way.
That is
So, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's look at a couple of others. Since you are dressed in black,
Okay.
and I would recommend to people to try to have a solid bright red scarf that works to distinguish you in a crowd of people all wearing black at night, as you will see often. Wear it full length, a full length large scarf
Okay.
as a shawl and just tie it over one shoulder or hang it over one shoulder. That way, when you get inside the ballroom and your arms are cool from the air conditioning, you still have a sheer cover-up that looks feminine and pretty that allows you then to endure the cold
Or the
air
chill.
conditioning.
Okay.
Yes.
That is just beautiful.
Does that feel good?
It feels
Simple
wonderful and
Simple
elegant.
enough. Now sometimes a sheer one won't work.
Oh, you need a
And
heavier
you need
one?
a heavier one, something
Okay.
that really will keep the chill off. And in a case like that, you want something that is opaque
Okay.
and feel it.
Oh, that feels wonderful.
A soft feel, but not heavy. And these things all pack in no space whatsoever and very little weight in your bags. And people who travel
That is wonderful.
will love having the traditional shawl,
Okay.
and you can do it from the front to the back
Ah.
and tie one end of what remains on the back. That will hold it in place once you are in the room, or you can wear it so that it ties over the shoulder.
Oh, really? There is so
And I'll
much
just
to
shift-
do.
I'll just shift.
So many wonderful
Now that's
things.
a single tie.
Okay.
A single tie. Now that will give you enough warmth and enough flattery within a room so that you don't have to take an extra jacket when you go out of town.
Well, absolutely.
And basically that's the idea.
You have increased my scarf literacy,
Well, I'm going to show you a couple more ways
which
to
is
wear
just
it. And
wonderful.
a crushed scarf, which you can purchase or twist on your own, can be done in such a way that it can fill in the neckline of your raincoat or trench coat in the springtime and give a flash of color. And everybody has seen
beautiful.
these, and some people still have difficulty in creating just a single loop
This
and
is
the thread
beautiful. Can you wear this with a jacket? That
Oh,
type of
absolutely.
style?
In the
Okay.
neck, in the neckline of your coat, it works very well.
I'll try and help you with this. So a matching jacket with this skirt would be okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my.
Whoops, wrong way.
Hey, everything looks the
So
right
you-
way
You get
if you're
the,
doing.
you get the necklace effect.
Oh, that's stunning.
So there you go. Play around with it. Have a little fun. Change your neckline look. Get something interesting in the neckline of your suit, your jacket, your coats. Kathy, what we have here is a perfect square. And you can't go in the store and buy this particular one because I selected the fabric and cut it and gave it a hem. So, but anybody who can sew really can do this if they have little refinement of their skills. So I'm just going to hand it to you and see what you would do if you had a big scarf that big.
You want to see what I would do with
what
it?
you would do with it.
Okay, I probably, since I got my short hair now, I would maybe do something. Now, I am so not good at tying knots, but I might try to do a little dilly-do like that.
A loop. And I think that's what most people would do. I think that looks smart. It looks different.
do you
It
really?
elevates it a bit, gives you a little cap sleeve. But let's try something else.
Okay.
Okay. So now that we know you can do it that way, try that same trick backwards.
Huh? Oh.
That's your same tie, only loop to the back. So if you can tie it in the front, you can slide it to the back. And already you have a cowl neckline with more interest than the one that you did. And still show off your necklace if you like. So at dinner, and I advise people always to iron out the crease. These are creased from having been folded. And I think it's a good idea to hang your scarves by a single corner or to fold them over a pants hanger so that that softens instead of being on a crease like these are, which have been boxed. Okay?
I
So do
love
you like that look?
Oh my God, I love it. Absolutely.
Okay, now let's do something even more fun. Now you're tall, and most people would not necessarily want horizontal stripes, but you can. So step forward.
I've heard someone else
And
tell
let's
me that.
do your horizontal stripes in a parea. That at hip line can be tied, and the knot can fall to the inside. And for evening, when you're in New York or in Florida or Los Angeles with your one scarf to go out in the evening, you have a look over your pants that's like a split skirt.
Oh my goodness.
So that works for you?
Oh my, are you kidding? It is gorgeous.
Now that's horizontal stripes. This weighs ounce or two. So in your suitcase, where weight matters and where bulkiness matters, you don't have to carry an evening dress. That once done, a decorative pin with some sparkle, and you're okay for the evening.
Oh my goodness. It's like a skirt.
And it's one simple square fabric.
That is gorgeous.
Don't buy a gown. Don't buy your chiffon palazzo pants. Take your knit pants and a scarf, darling, and you're good to go.
Welcome back. I am so excited that we have had this opportunity to learn from the design diva, Miss Alpha Blackburn, and this scarf segment where we had all the opportunities to learn. Alpha, I would really like for you to give our viewers your information. How can they get in touch with you? Because I know they're going to want to work with you.
Well, I have a show coming up, so I should announce it, that June 25th at the Arts Garden, where you guys did your thing for me last year and televised the whole thing. This year we're going back to the Arts Garden, and we will have a whole segment called Taiwan On. And all of your viewers will get to see, if they will come to the event, exactly how to tie one on. And if you're not there, of course, the rerun of this segment will help. But also, there is a website, alphadesigns.us. So I think you'll be able to find me. Call Kathy if you can't find me.
Absolutely. And Dr. Karen Rodman.
Thank you, Miss Alpha, for this beautiful design and for really helping me to know for the first time ever how to wear a beautiful scarf, which you designed, did you not?
Yes.
And Karen, I have to say, that's your color.
I totally agree.
I don't know if you've ever had your colors
You've not
done.
worn that, have you?
No, I
That
have
color.
not,
Well, that it.
but I
that-
love it.
It is
It's
it.
beautiful.
It is it. I am so excited about this episode because now you have a glimpse, a true glimpse of what you have coming with Style Up with Alpha. You always have to tune in to Living by Design because you never know when Style Up with Alpha is going to show up. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.